Oh, oh, where are you going? Hey, listen, if I'm going to take the time to teach you how to do all this stuff, then you get your butt back out in that garage. And then you smash the subscribe and like button because I'm an awesome guy and I like to give free information. So you should do me a favor. But don't be walking away. We got things to learn today and to fix. So you better go grab your tools and get out in that garage right now. Right now. What are you waiting for? Go. Jeez. What's going on, guys? So one of my viewers asked me to make this video considering I've ridden pretty much almost all the maxi class scooters at this point, minus some of the Yamaha, like the Majesty, stuff like that. But that being said, I have ridden the Burgmans and the Hondas, and I have a really good idea of what both these machines offer. I'm going to try to talk fast because my phone's probably going to overheat. It's very hot out here. But I have a list of things that I want to talk about here. So this is a 2010 Honda Silverwing. It's a 600cc parallel twin engine. This is a lot of scooter. This is a very luxury class scooter. Of course, I have a bird up here that wants to be part of the video here. And this is a single cylinder thumper that produces 400 cc's. So let's talk about this. I'm going to try to talk fast, but I also want you guys to have a good understanding of what both these machines offer and their capabilities. Okay, so 600cc, 400cc, parallel twin engine, single cylinder engine. All right, both of these engines are capable of reaching over 150,000 miles. There are owners of the Silverwing that actually said they're getting 250 to 300,000. I've even seen these upwards of 150. A lot of people are claiming 120,000 miles and still going strong. So, I mean, there's clearly some differences here. Both of these are very affordable. You can pick them up on the used market for around $2,500. Okay, so depending on what your needs are, they're both great machines. There are some differences, some significant differences here. So let's talk about this. So the weight of the Honda Silverwing, which is to my right here, this weighs 540 pounds. This is a heavy scooter. It has a big engine. It's a lot of mass to it. This is a much larger machine. Okay, whereas this only weighs 440 pounds. Okay, both of them manage the weight very, very well. They both have low centers of gravity. They both can handle two-up riding and be fantastic. Both of these are capable of touring the entire country all day on the highway and enjoying the ride. They're both liquid cooled. They both are just amazing machines in my opinion, and they're in most cases easy to work on. We'll get into that. So the tank capacity of the Silverwing is 4.2 gallons, and the Burgman 400 has a tank capacity of 3.6 gallons. So let's equate that out to miles. The Honda Silverwing, most people say they're getting around 150 to 160 miles per tank. The claims on the internet say all the way up to 200, averaging 180. I'm sorry, 160 to 180, but most people are saying they're getting about 150 to 160 on the Silverwing, and the Burgman gets 180 to 200 miles per tank, and I have tested that. It does. Even with two-up riding, I average around 51 to 52 miles per gallon, so this does fantastic. This is incredible for what you get. I have not actually pushed a full tank of fuel out of this yet with two-up riding all day on the highway, so I can't answer for that. All I can say is what the internet has to offer. Tire and rim size are actually both identical on both of these machines. They both have the same front tires. They both have the same rear tires. There are no differences. It's a 120/80 R14 on the front and a 150/70 rim size 13 on the back. They both have the same size tires, so they're going to travel almost the same speeds as long as the RPMs are can handle it, you know, the engine. Maintenance, the Honda Silverwing is much harder to work on and requires a lot more specific tools to work on. This is something you would get if you're a weathered, seasoned person that has worked on stuff before, because the Honda does not really service this stuff anymore, just like Burgman doesn't service this anymore. Most motorcycles that are older than 10 years old, even scooters, most dealerships don't even work on. So whichever machine you buy, just walk into it with the knowledge you're probably going to be doing the work yourself and looking up YouTube videos to get through this. So not nearly as easy to work on. The general maintenance is easy, but repairs a lot harder, a lot more difficult. To reach the engine, you have to disassemble a whole bunch of the bike. Whereas on this is very, very simple to work on. It's a simple engine. You can pretty much lift the seat, pull the pin, the seat comes off, piece of plastic, you have complete access to the engine. The variator CVT cover down there is much easier to extract than this one is. This is just a much
easier machine to maintain. It's cheaper. I'm not saying it's super cheap, but it is cheaper than the Honda Silverwing to maintain and keep up with. This has a lot more videos of how to do repairs than this does, and that's probably signs that this is more reliable, and this is not nearly as reliable. However, I've had both machines. They both, in my opinion, are fantastic. They both work great. So not much easier to work on, a lot less easy to work on. Okay, speed. They both almost have the same speed. Though this is lacking 200 cc's, this comes in at 95 miles per hour. And with some CVT tuning, you can break 100. This one will break 100. I've done some CVT tuning. It is more than capable of breaking 100. Actually, it'll go about 105 to 107. Stock format, this one does 105 out the hole in OEM format. So not a huge difference in speed. They're both capable of going basically 100 miles an hour, which is pretty fast for a scooter, to be honest with you. But they both do it very, very well. So parts. The parts are definitely expensive for the Honda Silverwing. They are cheaper for this, but they're still expensive. For instance, you need a clutch. It's $350 for an entire clutch assembly. And just for the clutch pads, you're looking at about $100 to $150 just for the clutch pad replacement. Pretty much anything you get into with CVT stuff is going to be expensive on either of these machines, but cheaper overall maintenance, this is going to be cheaper. A belt for this thing is like $240. A belt for this thing, brand new, is like $70. And then, of course, the Chinese ones, even the Chinese ones for this are about 50. Chinese ones for that are like 20. So, I mean, it's, you know, it's a toss-up. Depends on which way you want to go, how cheap you want to go. Okay, but definitely more expensive parts on this and cheaper on this. Horsepower. This one makes 51 whopping horsepower. That's a lot. That is a considerable amount, and it lays down a fair amount of foot-pounds of torque as well. So to put this in perspective, an 883 Harley Sportster makes 52 horsepower. This makes 51 horsepower, and they have almost the same foot-pounds of torque. So this thing is pretty rowdy. This one makes 32 horsepower. It's still very quick for a 400cc. It'll blow average traffic out of the water with no issues. It'll take cars all day, reasonable cars, your basic cars. You get a sports car, it'll probably get eaten by a sports car, but most of your average cars on the road, this is going to run the pack. It's going to have no issues with that. It's not, clearly not a parallel twin engine, obviously, so it's not putting down the same power output. It's going to lug a little bit off the line, whereas this one's going to take off like a rocket ship. This one's going to have a lot slower takeoff. One single cylinder, trying to push the machine up to speed until it reaches a certain RPM where it can smooth out. And that's the next thing we're going to talk about. Engine. This is a single cylinder thumper. This is going to be a lot more vibratey than this is. This is going to feel extremely smooth. This has a single cylinder thumper engine, so it's one cylinder doing this. There's nothing to counterbalance it. At lower RPMs, this is going to feel like you're getting some vibrations and chugging. It's still a very smooth ride though. But as far as smoothness goes, this will take it all day, 100%. This is a very, very smooth machine in comparison to this. Once again, two different engines, single cylinder, parallel twin. This is going to be a smoother engine all the way around. So, and then brakes. This is another big one I want to talk about. This has a single brake setup. For such a large scooter, you would think that it would have a dual setup on this. This is a single cylinder brake system. This is dual setup on the front, single on rear. Both of these are single on rear. This one has way better stopping power than this one does. So you just got to manage your throttle a lot better, be smart about what you're doing and all that stuff. So dual, single. I'm sorry, single, dual, single. Both of these are single in the back, single, dual. So better stopping capabilities than this one, but both brakes work very, very well. Just don't be riding up on cars hot. You know, give yourself a chance to be able to slow down. That being said, guys, I've had both of these. They're both incredible machines so far. I've really liked my Silverwing. I'm having a great time with it. I really enjoyed my Burgman 400. I had the 650. If you watch my other video about the 650, why you should buy a 400, not the 650, that video is out there. I'll put it in the description of the video. There's a whole reason why I chose the 400 this time around instead of the 650. But then when we talked, we both decided that we were going to go this route. So anyway, there's my neighbor Bob. I'm going to wave at him. Hi, Bob. So anyways, guys, that is my thing. Both of these are capable of two-up riding. They're both fantastic machines. You can tour the country on both of them. I would say if you're staying in one state, this would be your ideal one. Unless you're going to go state to state, give it a break every couple hours of riding. Just give this one a break. This one will not need that break. This one can travel all over the country without needing to take a break and ride all day without issues. I would say give your Burgman 400 a break every hour or so. Just let it breathe. Give it a chance to cool off a little bit. You know, this one's going to be trying a little bit harder to get the job done than this one will. But this one's great if you're just staying in the state you're in. We've taken this 200 miles out, 200 back, 400-mile trips. Does great. 2 up riding, me and the girlfriend, bunch of our bags packed up. Those same packs that are on there were also on there. So if that gives you an idea, I had my GPS. Everything that was on this was also on this. I just transferred it over to that. So this was a full touring setup when I was riding this around. So I hope that helps you guys. If you have any other comparisons you'd like me to make, just drop it in the comment section below. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, and drop a comment. It really helps us out. It definitely helps us out. So everything you'll need is in the description below. I will catch you guys on the next video. Toodles.